Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Well, at least that confirms that we're live. Anyway, so as I was saying, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. Please like and share the videos. We do appreciate that. If you haven't joined us already on Facebook, please also check out our Facebook page. Facebook is BWTM Sports Channel or BWTM Channel Sports Channel Group. Get in there, and once you join, we'll give you a shout out in the room as always. Right, so the main event is Lawrence Okolie versus Luke Watkins. I think Luke Watkins is the Commonwealth champion, the cruiserweight division. I have to say the biggest fight tonight for me, the most difficult fight, has been staying awake for me. Luis Blotti got knocked out or stopped earlier on tonight. This is what happens in boxing when you lack any form of defensive responsibility. This is what happens when you just go forward in straight lines and don't pay attention to your own defense, thinking you can blast everybody out there because you're a big puncher. What ends up happening is you start getting hit with big punches yourself, and in the end you get, like Reece Blotti did tonight, got stopped. So commiserations to Reece Blotti. Just because you knock a few guys over, it doesn't make you a world champion. It certainly doesn't make you world class. What is sadly lacking these days in boxing, particularly in boxing commentary, is that we're not actually talking about fighters' faults. We're not educating our boxing fans about, having a lack of defense. Always exciting fighter. He's going a long way, but he's taking punches with his face every fight until he faces a guy who actually can punch some and may have fast hands, and there's a problem. So this fight tonight, Luke Watkins versus Lawrence Okolie. As you know already, BWTM has spoken to Luke Watkins. He's very confident about this fight. I asked him his reasons for taking the fight. He said he thought it made sense. I think obviously it means he's getting paid some good money to fight Lawrence Okolie. From the outset, I've looked at both fighters and what both fighters do well and don't do so well. But for me, Lawrence Okolie, the long arms, the long reach, and the thunderous right hand that he carries, is a big puncher and has fought at the high level as an Olympian. So we have a situation tonight where once again, one of the guys have fought at a much higher level, which is Lawrence Okolie as an Olympian. And then we have Luke Watkins, who hasn't fought as high a level. Luke Watkins may say he's had more of a challenge as a pro. Maybe, maybe not. My concern about Luke Watkins, I look for patterns in fighters. My big concern about Luke Watkins is he's already been on the canvas already. He's been dropped before, which doesn't mean that much. But he's never faced anyone who punches as hard as Lawrence Okolie. The other concern for me is that Luke Watkins has a habit of dropping his left hand, and there's a big gap for the right hand over the top. So you can see, or straight through the middle. So you can see why the Okolie team took the fight against the Commonwealth champion. Me personally, I'd like to see Luke Watkins get a few more fights, but you've got to give Luke Watkins credit. He believes he'll beat Lawrence Okolie. For him to beat Lawrence Okolie, he's going to have to get past the long levers of Okolie and get on the inside. If he can get on the inside of Lawrence Okolie, then yeah, he could cause the upset. But for me, my biggest concern for this fight is that long right hand of Okolie and the long arms of Okolie. I just see that right hand, anything from rounds 1 to 5, landing on Luke Watkins. I could be wrong. I just think the height is key. I really do. But he's ultimately very confident. Confidence is one thing that, having to be deliberate on the night, there could be a huge gap between these two guys. But if Luke Watkins, I really would be very, very happy if he could prove me wrong. But the long arms, the high level of experience of boxing as an amateur, people say the amateur and the pro game, are very different. But on recent history, all the guys that have fought who've had limited amateur experience compared to the guys who fought and had extensive amateur experience, the guys with extensive amateur experience have come through and won in the end of these fights. From Chamberlain and Okolie, that fight, to when O'Hara Davis fought Josh Taylor. And that's the reason why I think that Anthony Yarde is being held back, because he's a guy who's had limited amateur experience, and they don't want to fall. Tunde Ajayi and Frank Warren don't want to fall for the same okie doke. The fans are calling for a fight. Listen to me. This is something that all these fans call for fights. Oh yeah, take the fight. Courage gets you only so far. At the end of the day, no fan really likes a loser. Oh, he's brave. He fights everybody, but nobody likes a loser. And boxing fans are very fickle. So I understand when people make decisions not to get into certain fights. I do understand it. Luke Watkins is a good fighter. Got a big heart, lots of guts. He's brave. He's determined. He's got boxing skills. But I'm just concerned with the long levers of Okolie, the fighting at a high level, and that right hand that Okolie has. I just feel somewhere along the line, Luke Watkins is going to walk onto that right hand. I really do. But we'll see. I just think Okolie's got more gears, better variety of punching power, the bigger puncher, fought the better opposition as an amateur, and I just think that's gonna be, that's gonna be different. It's gonna be a different kettle of fish come fight time. I really do. But everyone's got their opinion. I'd love to hear what your opinion is for the fight tonight. So we're just waiting for the two men to make their way to the ring. Of course, we've got boxing this weekend. We have the return of Tyson Fury. We have Crawford versus Horn. There's a lot of boxing on Saturday night, and I can't wait. Before we get to that fight tonight with Okolie and Watkins, please check out BWTM Sports. We have an exclusive, the only media outlet at the moment to have spoken to Isaac Dogba, the new WBO super bantamweight champion of the world. Yes, he's returned home, the home of BWTM for the Royal Warrior. He said it himself, Isaac Dogba. Check out his thoughts since he's become the newly crowned WBO super bantamweight king. Check out his thoughts on Joshua versus Wilder. Check out his thoughts on being knocked down for the first time in his professional career, and what he thought. His thoughts were when he heard me commentating on his fight. So check that out. Also, fresh off the press, less than a few hours ago, Abel Sanchez talking to BWTN Sports, confirming that the rumors between Billy Joe Saunders and Gennady Golovkin are false. And also confirming that he doesn't think much of Charlo, thinks he's ordinary, and thinks Canelo owes it to the boxing fans that he should fight Golovkin next. So check those two interviews out. They're both fresh off the press. They're both exclusives. Check them out. And of course, once you've watched the videos, please do share them across your social media page. So we're just waiting for the fight between Okolie and Watkins. The return of Tyson Fury this weekend against Sefer Seferi. For me, Tyson should get rid of Sefer Seferi very quickly. And I'm not sure of what that proves after having all these weeks of training, all these months of training. I do wonder what this is all going to lead to. If Tyson looks bad against Sefer Seferi, it won't look good for him. So he's got to really he's got to do a good job against Sefer Seferi. What it proves against a 40-year-old, I'm not sure. Cruiserweight, I don't know. But maybe just to get himself sorted. Just get himself in shape. But again, I think it's, I don't know. Like I said, I'd rather see Tyson fight Gary Cornish. So, and Tony Bellew's in the wings, I guess, to get a fight against Tyson Fury. So we'll see. People will be talking about the Klitschko fight after this fight on Saturday night. They're going to want to see where he is, and it's the Sefer Safari fight is what people will be talking about. Tyson Fury, not the Klitschko fight. Well, 3 years ago he fought Klitschko, so we'll have to see what he looks like with his new trainer. But again, we won't know how good that partnership is with Ben Davison until Tyson's in a real fight. And like I said before, don't think we'll see that until 2019, unless he decides to take a Tony Bellew fight. So we're just waiting for Sky to get themselves together and bring us the fight of the night. Right, I think we get started now, I think. News has also come out that Dillian Whyte will be fighting Lawrence Ortiz in July. I think it's a highly dangerous fight, highly dangerous. And there's a huge difference between Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte. And Deontay Wilder is a phenomenal puncher. I'm not sure if Dillian Whyte punches as hard as the sort of equalizer that Wilder has. So a lot of people knock Wilder, but we'll see how Dillian Whyte, the #1 contender, gets on against Lawrence Ortiz. So it's Okolie or Watkins versus Okolie. Of course, Watkins is the champion. As you've seen Anthony Joshua there at York Hall. He's just arrived. It's saying he arrived into the arena. I guess he's Okolie's promoter, isn't he? Anthony Joshua. We're just waiting for the announcement of the two fighters coming to the ring. I guess in this fight, Lawrence Okolie is the challenger because, of course, Watkins is the champion. I think Okolie's got an intercontinental belt. But it's really about the Commonwealth title tonight. Yeah, it's the challenger. So shout out to Brian, his trainer. Okolie's just waiting. Black and white robe over him. He's just waiting. So there's long levers. He's throwing uppercuts in the hallway. And here he comes, Lawrence Okolie. Walking to the ring like the man he is. Strutting to the ring. Ready to do business. Anthony Joshua, you'll see in the background there. With Eddie Hearn. Lawrence Okolie walking to the ring now. There's Okolie. Puts one foot over the rope, next foot over the rope, and he's in the ring. Lawrence Okolie is in the ring. The challenger. A champion in his own right. Even if it's a WBA Intercontinental belt. He's a champion in his own right. Bopping his head left and right. To probably a grind chill. Be surprised. I can't hear him. Of course, the sound's not up. But yeah, Okolie's in the ring. We're just waiting for the champion now. Luke Watkins. I don't personally think Watkins should be taking this fight tonight, but he has other ideas. I think Watkins should have, milked the idea of being Commonwealth champion, got a few fights under his belt. But obviously he thinks he's going to get paid good money. He thinks he's on the level. So that's what he's in boxing for. So Watkins just The pace he himself are quite confident. Just walking back and forth himself, Watkins. The lights in the York Hall Arena are flashing. I'm not sure if this guy's a MC or something. He looks like he might be MC, actually. He's saying something. But of course the volume's down, so you can rap all you want. At the end of the day, it's not you, the guy who's rapping, that's doing the fighting. It's actually Watkins doing the fighting, so for due respect. So Echoes Watkins, he looks just as confident as well walking to the ring. Another very confident man. Very confident in his abilities, Luke Watkins. And you can't knock a man like that. He's confident. He feels he's ready to fight. But it's just those long levers of Okolie and the big, long right hand. Watkins raises his arms. He's in the ring now. Says he's ready, Luke Watkins. Height, Okolie 6'5". The reach, 82-inch reach advantage over Watkins 78. So both men, 14 stone 2 pounds. Watkins 6'2", Okolie 6'5". Like I said, 13 fights for Watkins, 8 fights for Okolie. 65 rounds he's boxed as a pro. 25 fights Okolie's fought. 25 rounds he's gone as a pro. 69% knockout ratio for Watkins. 75% knockout ratio for Lawrence Okolie. My concerns with Lawrence Okolie, sometimes when he rushes in to try and knock guys out, he leaves his chin in the air when he goes to knock people out. Sometimes he can get caught with big wing punches over the top. I'll have to watch that from Watkins tonight. He doesn't go rushing in with his chin up in the air. As for Watkins, he's already been down in his career. My concern about Watkins is that he's very open to a straight right hand. When the fight was signed, the first thing I saw as a vision is that straight right, looping right hand, straight right hand, either down the pipe or over the top of Watkins' guard. I hope that Watkins has tightened up on his defense, because if he hasn't, this fight could be over very quickly. I mean, within the first 3 to 4 rounds, because Watkins has already been dropped in his career before, but him getting hit by Okolie is a totally different kettle of fish. And that is what I'm concerned with this fight for Watkins. But again, good head movement, a good jab, good movement, able to slip in and slip out. The judges for the fight, Howard Foster, Terry O'Connor, and Bob Williams. They're 3 judges, and there will also been 3 British referees there as well. Ref in the ring tonight is Michael Alexander from Doncaster. And now the 2 fights is about to be announced. Just waiting for the 2 fights to get announced now. It's not me. It's lovely Sky and their okay, the challenger, age 25, with 8 fights, 8 wins, 6 by KO. He's the WBA Intercontinental Champion of the Cruiserweight Division, Lawrence Okolie. And the champion, Luke Watkins. 30 fights, 13 wins, 9 by KO. Watkins also, I've noticed he seems to he's there standing. Very confident, Luke Watkins, very, very confident. He's gone to meet Okolie head on here. as they stand next to one another. You can see the height difference. Okolie's not even getting himself involved. He's not even paying attention to Luke Watkins. Luke Watkins seems to be very much focused on Okolie. So we'll see. Mental preparation here. Okolie not getting involved with Watkins in psychological looking at one another. Okolie looked away. Here we go. It's round one. Okolie with straight right hand to the body. Okolie's got the distance straight away. He's snapping out the left jab. The right hand, as I said before, Watkins is to watch the right hand of Okolie. Watkins looking for the double jab. Big right hand already lands on Watkins. We talked about the first 30 seconds. The right hand has landed on Watkins once already. Needs to watch the right hand. Watkins backs up. He got hit with the right hand early. Watkins backing up there. Now he's got behind a tight guard now, Watkins. But he's there open for that right hand. Okolie just using that long frames and the jab to measure Watkins for that big booming right hand. And you can see it coming. He already nailed him once with the right hand. Okolie gangly, awkward. Just using the jab as a rangefinder at the moment. Jab to the body from Okolie. Just using the jab to nail there. He's trying to catch Watkins as he comes in. You already know Watkins are on right hand within the first 30 seconds. He's just looking to measure him with the left jab and then land that long lever of a right hand to the top of Watkins' head. He needs to be careful. He needs to keep that left hand up high around his temple, because when that hits you, don't matter how good a chin you've got, it can scramble your senses. Watkins is trying to dip with a jab and slip inside, which is where he's going to be most effective. Okolie just using a height, standing very tall. He's tall like fighting like a tall man, which is great. Using full his height there and height and reach there, Okolie. He really is fighting like the tall man. Watkins with the double jab. But you see Okolie just waiting to stretch him with that right hand. You can see it. Cautious start by Okolie. Every time Watkins comes in, he takes a little step back and then throws a big right hand over the top. He's done it again. A second time he's landed that right hand. Just chopping right hand on Watkins. Watkins needs to be very careful. But he's walking in on Okolie. He's measuring him with that right hand. It's only a matter of time before that right hand drops cleanly on Watkins. But so far, so good for Watkins. He's been okay with it. Watkins is meeting Okolie with the jab, which is nice. There's not much head movement from Watkins or footwork from him. He's standing right in front of Okolie. So he is tailor-made for the Okolie left jab and right hand. And there's the right hand again from Okolie. Timing Watkins, right hand, left hook to the body there. Okolie is heavy-handed. But Watkins is doubling up the jab. That's nice. End of the first round. Okolie measured Watkins 2 or 3 times in the first round, as I said he would, with the left jab, looking to land the right hand. The key thing about this fight now is that whether Watkins will go back to his corner, his trainer will say to him, look, he's looking to nail you up with a right hand. For me now, I would use lots more feints. I'm not seeing, in British boxing, I'm not seeing a lot of guys use feints. So maybe draw the right hand of Okolie, and then as he's about to throw the right hand, get yourself out of position and then reset and throw your own left hook. Or slip inside the right hand and come back with a left hook. Those are some ideas I would say to Watkins to stop Okolie from loading up with that right hand, to make him cautious. Left jab, right hand from Okolie in the second round comes out fast. Using the jab, backing Watkins up with the jab. Now, see, the other thing is, there's a right hand there from Okolie. Okolie's controlling Watkins. Nice combination there. Fast right hand. Another left. Sharp little combination there from Okolie. Then turns. Watkins. Shout out to Brian Shaughnessy, the trainer of Lawrence Okolie. Of course, he also trains Thrashy Faz. Congratulations to Moeed Fazaldin as well on a great win the other day. Little right hand clips Okolie on the inside there. If Watkins can get on the inside, then he stands an interesting chance against Okolie. But as long as Okolie keeps him on the outside, it's just a matter of time before that right hand lands. He's landing a right hand to the head and then a left hook to the body. Big long right hand there from Okolie. Watkins has taken that. That right hand is landing more and more and more. Jab from Okolie. So if Watkins ducks his head, I want to see Watkins throwing the left hook. Double up the jab and throw the left hook, but he's allowing. Last thing you want is a former Olympian to be line up a left jab, getting into rhythm and landing the right hand. You need to be taking him out of that sort of rhythm because he's landing over and over and over again. It's target practice. Watkins has got to do something different. He's either got to feint with a jab, he's got to step back, he's got to do something to make Okolie afraid of throwing that right hand. Because at the moment, Okolie's doing the same thing over and over and over again. Watkins gets close, Okolie ties him up. Watkins stays at distance. Okolie measures him with a jab and throws a right hand. Now he throws a right hand to the body now. Okolie's either whipping him to the right hand to the body or straight right hand to the head over the top, looking to hit near with the temple, or he's throwing a short, sneaky left hook into the rib cage of Watkins. This is round 2. He goes, digging to the body. Okolie just holding Watkins up in the inside. Like I said, Watkins got to do something different. He's got to either, for me, he's got to use more feints. So just try to jab to body. Try and switch up, fake the jab and throw a left hook over the top instead. Or change the speed of the jab. End of round 2. Okolie in total control for me at the moment. The challenger for the Commonwealth title. How are you scoring it? There's only one person that won the first and the second round for me, which is Lawrence Okolie. He's controlled the fight with the left jab, and he's landed the right hand cleanly. Now, the next thing that needs to start happening from Okolie is whipping the uppercuts upstairs, because the other thing that when Watkins is coming inside, I'm not sure if he can see the uppercut coming. So if I'm Okolie's trainer, I'm saying, look, there's nothing to worry about when Watkins comes on the inside because he's ducking low. Instead, just when you tie him up, hold one arm and whip the uppercut with the other hand. Use the uppercut. You land him with the right hand now. Let's throw you throw the uppercut on the inside. This is round 3. Watkins has to do something different. Double jab. Okolie just needs to be a little careful though when he's coming forward though. As I said, he is vulnerable to wing punches over the top. But I can see Okolie trying to nail Watkins, maybe not to the chin, but to the temple area, which is a dangerous area to get hit. Watkins throws his own little short right hand on the inside. Again, Okolie is tying Watkins up on the inside. So he's controlling the fight at the moment. When he wants to involve jab, he dominates with the jab. If he wants to keep him at the end of it and then throw the right hand, he's doing that. If he wants to throw a right hand to the body or left hand to the body, he throws the left hand to the body. If he wants to tie up, he ties up Watkins. Watkins is allowing Okolie to do what he wants. He's got to change the script of this fight. Okolie whipping a right hand faster in now and another right hand. Left hook, right hand. There we go. He's going to start putting punches together now, Okolie. And he's going to start thumping. There goes another right hand. And down he goes. Lays him out flat. As I said he would. Down goes Watkins. But he gets up. Almost reminiscent of how Shannon Briggs got nailed by Lennox Lewis with a right hand. Said the right hand was coming. You can't keep getting hit with big right hands like that. Here comes the Okolie trade. Big right hand, another right hand. Fight is over. Round 3, all over. All over. Okolie wins by knockout. And that is what I expected to see happen. Because you don't move your head. You're not changing the script. You're walking in straight lines. You're getting hit with the right hand all the time. And all that happens, Okolie was warming him up. Just line him up. Line up. Wasn't it? We just touch him with the right hand. Touch him with the right hand. And eventually said, you know what? Now I'm going to put some sauce on his right hand. And I said it. I'd be surprised if this fight goes past 5 rounds, because Watkins was going to keep walking onto that right hand. And the right hand is what knocked him out. The right hand is what knocked him out. He wasn't ready. And when I was studying boxing, I look at fighters and I look at their patterns and what they do in their fights. He'd been dropped by a guy who wasn't anywhere near in the league or the class of Lawrence Okolie. And if you're getting dropped by guys like that with the right hand, then, you know, they hadn't learned the lesson. So, as I said, you can be as confident as you want. But when it comes to actually technical ability, Lawrence Okolie had in control from the first round, using the jab and looking for the right hand. Watkins didn't at no point in time really challenge Okolie's skill set, because he just allowed Okolie to do exactly what he wanted. Control from the outside, use the jab when he wanted to, throw the right when he wanted to, throw the left hook to the body when he wanted to, switch it up, throw the right hands to the body as well. Didn't move like a sitting duck he was, Luke Watkins. And there are levels to this game, and you've just seen levels there with Lawrence Okolie. Can't move in straight lines with Lawrence Okolie. You've got to give him angles. You've got to be feinting. You've got to be switching up. And the most important thing against Lawrence Okolie, you've got to make him feel uncomfortable throwing the right hand. You've got to make him feel uncomfortable throwing the right hand. But he tonight was at home. You know what I mean? He was at home with that right hand. He could have set up a cup of tea and some biscuits. That's how comfortable he was with the right hand. And in the third, like I said, when you get hit, it wasn't so much getting hit on the chin with the right hand. It was getting hit on the temple. And if you look at his shots, Okolie has that same sort of Wilder-like physique. He's got the same sort of thing with the right hand. Dynamic puncher. Long arms, speed, and phenomenal punching power. Very, very Wilder-like in the way he does his business. Probably a bit more boxing skills, a little better than Wilder, but my God, the punching power is very similar. Long, gangly arms. Anyone who beats Okolie is going to have to get on the inside. He's going to get on the inside. Smart, get him on the inside. You definitely don't beat Lawrence Okolie standing on the outside of the jab. And I don't know what the game plan was, because I asked Watkins, what are you going to do with that long right hand? I've boxed guys that have got long arms like Okolie, but if you box him, you can punch as hard as Okolie. He said he had a game plan. I wasn't convinced that there was going to be any game plan from watching from round 1, and this is what happened. Commiserations to Luke Watkins. He may have thought that was a good business decision. I didn't think it was a good business decision. It didn't seem to make any sense to me, apart from make money. But to get knocked out like that, you may never recover as a boxer like that. You know what I mean? You've been stretched almost by Okolie, and there was no need for it. You know, you've given up a Commonwealth title. Just wasn't in the same league. But there'll be some people say that Watkins was ready. He was never ready. You can see him getting knocked out. So there you go. Called it before the fight even happened. Long right hand over the top. You can't go into boxing bouts not making adjustments, doing the same things you'd be doing fight after fight, and then think you're going to step up in class, and somehow those issues, those problems you had in low fights before don't come back to revisit you if you don't change them. You have to be defensively responsible in fights. And you're going to go up against a guy like Luke Watkins. This is where you need an excellent trainer to come up with a game plan. What the hell was the game plan for the fight? What was the game plan from Luke Watkins? Because I didn't see no. I saw, okay, a double jab. Okay, what do? You throw the right hand over the top. You know, you didn't put any fear in Okolie. I didn't see you trying to work the body. I didn't see you for anything. I didn't see you trying, you maybe put a clock, kind of George Foreman cross-arm defense and try and walk Okolie back to ropes. I didn't see that. I didn't see you feint at any time. I didn't see you try and open him up. I didn't see anything. I just saw the same old things that you normally do, expecting to do at a high level, and all that happens is you get exposed quickly. That's all. You know what I mean? So, but hey, Watkins must have got paid a very good lot of money for the fight. So yeah, fair plays, fair dues. But you know, now you're no longer a Commonwealth champion. You know, you get up tomorrow morning and you might have thought that wasn't really a great business decision, and how people treat you afterwards. So onward up for Lawrence Okolie, Commonwealth champion now. Well done, son. Right, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's boxing from the York Hall. Again, I repeat, you can't keep making the same mistakes, fight in, fight out, doing the same things over and over again, expecting change without making it exposed. This is what boxing business is. It's brutal. It's unforgiving at times. That's boxing. This has been Ingram Jones from BWTM, and we're out. Thanks for listening.